Hello, everybody, indeed. Welcome to Never Not Funny. My name is Jimmy Pardo, host of the program. Never Not Funny, bringing you laughs and disappointment since 2006. March of 2006 is when we started. At my dining room table, I sat there with a young Mac Belknap and Michael Glenn Schmidt, and we were around my table for 59, check that, about 52, 53 episodes. Then we brought it into a studio, and then, and now we're here, man. We're here. We got one queer. Get used to it. You know what I'm saying? That's offensive. I'm going to get a note from my cousin Dan telling me to stop with that kind of humor. And you know what, Dan?
He doesn't like that kind of joke?
He likes it when I do it in moderately. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Is that the word I want?
In moderation.
In moderation. Thank you. I'm exhausted. I just came from. Well, I stopped at home. I was lucky enough to stop at home. I flew in today.
How are your arms?
They're gonna get sore from punching you in the fucking face for that joke. Luckily, I was doing some kettlebells. Kettle Bill. He's a fellow near my house that makes the best kettle corn you have ever had in your life. Over there at the Pasadena Rose Bowl.
I drive out of my way just to get it.
Oh, you go see Kettle Bill?
Kettle Bill.
Oh, boy, not too salty, not too sweet. He knows how to make a perfect kettle corn.
He calls it swalty.
He does call it swalty. That's the thing, a swalty Kettle Bill. He's a good man. At any rate, I'm exhausted. This is the perfect episode to have to be tired.
I'm exhausted too, so that even better.
Why are you? We'll go around the room. Let me ramp up the show like I do,
Sure,
and then we'll get to why you're tired. This show's
It seemed like the right time to mention it, as you were talking about it.
By the way, I'm thinking, I always go back, I think about this on a regular basis when Paul Reiser was here. And Paul just didn't know the format of our show, and he wanted to plug his dates. And then he finally goes, boy, you're really going out of your way not to plug these dates. And it was just like, we didn't tell him in advance that we'll plug him in the break. Like, we didn't tell him, and he's like, well, this seems like a good time to bring up those dates. I go, we'll get to it. But you guys are really going out of your way not to bring up these dates. It was, so for whatever reason, that makes me laugh. I think about that whenever I think about calendars. And then Paul Reiser comes up, and then Mad About You, and then Alan Hunt, and then sadly, then I end up in Hank Azaria, and then that's where my nightmare ends, or begins.
You start thinking about his pecs.
He's oddly, he looks like they're fake, right? Don't they look fake?
Yeah, there was that one movie he did.
Birdcage? Is it the Birdcage movie?
No, it was.
Is that what it's called? Birdcage?
Something no one even saw, I don't think. But yeah, the Birdcage.
Birdcage was a good movie.
Yeah, it was good.
What's the one that nobody saw that he had?
This is the one where he played some swarthy Lothario, and he had a Speedo on, and it was like, I remember the whole world went, what? Because he just looked like he was just jacked from the neck down.
It looked like a Halloween costume. It looks like when Oliver tries on his Hulk,
right, or at the carnival when you put your head on one of those plywood things, like I'm the bodybuilder.
That's an even better reference. I appreciate you sharing it with us. What was that movie? You look it up, Hank Azaria?
I think it was The Wedding Date.
The Wedding Date. That sounds...
Wow.
Well, who else was in that?
Deborah Messing from Will and Grace.
Deborah Messing and Hank Azaria. Wow.
Boy.
2 reasons to not go to that movie.
If you are tired of watching NBC on Thursday nights,
go see it on the big screen.
Theater.
I think people like Debbie Messing. I don't think they think of her as a movie star. Is that something we could agree on?
Yes, that's absolutely 100% correct.
What, Garen?
That wasn't it.
That wasn't it. Garen just told me that was not it.
Okay, keep going.
Maybe we should have Garen over there.
She was actually on Tuesday. That was on Tuesday nights also.
What was Will and Grace?
Yeah.
That was not Must See Thursday?
No, it's never part of the Must See lineup.
Hang on. You know what Hank Azaria was good in? The Smurfs. He was good as
Gargamel.
The Smurfs, as Gargamel.
Never seen it.
He was funny.
Number 2 coming soon.
I know it, and Oliver's very excited about it. How come we can't see that, Dad? How come when it comes out?
That was one of those things that sunk into Zoe's head. She saw the trailer before Epic and didn't say anything, and then like a week later she was like, Dad, what are Smurfs? And I was like, well, they're woodland creatures who live in mushrooms.
You explained that they're not real, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I think she actually asked. She's like, they're not real. And I was like, no, they're not real.
Yeah, don't blow it. It's like Santa Claus.
It's kind of weird, actually. Now that I think about it, it's kind of, Epic is sort of similar. These tiny little things that live in the forest and are being chased by a large wizard.
I have not seen Epic, and I look forward to seeing it.
It's good.
All right. Welcome into the program, episode 1223. Is that what this is, guys?
Yep.
1223. Is that confirmed? Garen, Elliott? We'll go around the room in a half a second here. Flew in. I'll tell you quickly about my flight to San Jose. Delayed. As you know, I was on the phone with you.
Yes.
And it kept getting pushed back and pushed back. Here's the deal. our president, the great Barack Obama, who, as if he's not creating havoc enough on this great land of ours, if this man is not losing control on a regular basis by going through my Verizon phone bill, he goes beat by
you
beat.
have Sprint.
I have Sprint, but you know what? I signed up for Verizon because I like here's what I like about what he does, is he went through it with a fine tooth comb. He got me a better deal.
Oh, wow.
He saw that there's a way that I can cut back
Fantastic.
on those. I'm not using all my minutes.
Jimmy, bump up to the unlimited.
That's what he said. He said,
whole family will save money.
Family plan, you save money. Do your
Here's
thing.
my presidential invitation. It's not very good.
Look, I don't do this well. That's Michelle Obama. That's the last name, right, Obama? Why did that sound wrong to me? Michelle Obama.
Did you say Obama?
I don't know what I said, but
Obama.
either way, I didn't like the way it sounded out of my head. What two cities was he in on Friday?
Santa Monica.
Nope. Yeah,
LA.
Los Angeles and
Yeah, was
San
he in
Jose.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So flights are delayed in San Jose for him to come here, and then so they're delayed, and then they're delayed again here because he needs to fly out of here. So they were delayed on both ends.
And there was that shooting in Santa Monica, which
That doesn't play into this.
It doesn't. Okay,
It doesn't play into it at all.
I thought I know that he was in the area. It had nothing to do with him, but I thought that maybe there was some sort of.
Doesn't play into it. I don't appreciate you bringing it up as I'm about to
Blowback.
whine about my flight. There's a and there was a shooting. Yes, Matt. Everyone knows there's a shooting.
We haven't talked about it.
We don't talk. What are we going to talk? What do you want to talk about?
It's horrible. No, I
I'm about
seriously
to
thought he
bitch
got delayed.
about the seat on my plane flight.
I thought
and you
he
bring
got-
up a shooting.
Listen, everything changed on 9/11.
Yes, it did. What day was that? That was 6/7.
6, 7, 13.
Things changed. Santa Monica changed certainly for the better. We got 5 riffraff. Now I tried to spin that comedically, and I failed, and I admit that I did. But Matt Belknap brought me down a path that I could go.
All I was saying,
no,
I
you
thought
fucked
the
it up.
president was delayed because
Well,
of
not
that.
delayed because of that. The president does. He's not going
He
to.
never gets delayed. He goes wherever he wants.
Goes
to.
where he wants to go. The man runs this
Just
country.
puts his jetpack on if he needs to get out of somewhere, right?
Hey, did you happen to read Jackie Cation's Facebook update today? Waiting like anybody else for his luggage at LAX this morning, 6:30 in the morning, or 3:30 in the morning. 12 abort, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30, so midnightish. Who's waiting for their luggage? Just like anybody else, who does not use a private jet to get to his gigs?
Oh, gigs.
Who does not? I know several that Louis does.
Right.
Seinfeld does. Jay Leno does. Who does not? And this, by the way, this impresses me.
It's a comedian.
Yeah. Who does not use a private jet to get to it? Who's waiting for luggage like any other asshole?
I can't even think of
It impresses
Chris Rock.
me. Close.
Okay, so African American.
Yeah. I apologize for saying close based on just that.
Heart?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart.
The band Heart.
The whole band's waiting.
The whole band, man. And together, they look like a black man. The entire, that Ann Wilson shows up in that.
They do like to wear black.
That smock. She's in that black smock that she puts on. Like Ann Wilson. She's got the voice of an angel.
Well, barracudas are mostly black.
Whoa!
Barracuda.
Hey, what you doing today? Working hard or hardly working?
Is it
It's my
Steve
wife's
Harvey?
bit. Nope. Go bigger. Go bigger.
Bigger than Steve
Go
Harvey.
bigger.
Everyone I can think of bigger than Steve Harvey is dead or retired.
There's one. Go bigger. It impresses me.
Oh, Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
Wow.
Bill Cosby. Waiting for his luggage.
That's crazy.
Love it. She didn't talk to him.
Yeah, he was in Cerritos last night.
Yeah, so where was he flying to? Maybe back to...
Back home.
Yeah,
Right, doesn't
but
he
why
live
did she
in New
see
York?
him? Oh, maybe when she got off the plane on her way to luggage, she saw him waiting for a flight. Maybe that's what it was. I didn't... but she did not talk to him. But I thought that... I was impressed that Bill Cosby's just taking
Yeah.
regular airplane.
I got to go see him before he's gone.
Everybody that posted on Facebook yesterday, a lot of people went to Cerritos.
Yeah.
Cristela Alonso went, and
Josh Fadem, I saw.
Josh Fadem went and fell down on his way there. My friend Steve Oakes, a bunch of folks went to see him, and they all then posted greatest night in my comedy life.
Wow.
They all posted that. So
Yeah,
and when remember when Paul Reiser was here, that everybody that goes to see him says that it's the greatest night of life. And then he said, so, he wasn't having a good night. That's
Right.
what he does.
It's just his regular show.
I was bummed. He was there too. He did 2 shows yesterday here in Cerritos, and I was thinking that, considering I have such strong opinions about Dr. Cosby,
You are on record.
I got to go see it. I'm with you. I got to go see it,
All right.
and I have to.
Next time he's in town, let's.
Not comfortable going with you necessarily.
Why not?
That seems maybe like a couple's date.
Okay.
I think my wife would like to see that as well.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be there. Apparently, we're not going to be sitting together.
No, we can go couple's date. I said.
Oh, so
What,
couples.
you're thinking your wife's not interested?
No, no, she would be, but I misunderstood the.
Hey, let's be these people, man. Let's put on 4 ugly sweaters and go see Bill Cosby. Won't that be funny? Let's dress up like 80s rockers and go see Sammy Hagar.
wear my-
You're not interesting, you asshole.
I'm going to wear my Gordon Gartrell.
I don't know what that means. Is that a brand?
That was a famous episode of The Cosby Show.
I just broke my wrist. I'm
What
not
happened?
don't
I
know
heard
what-
that. That was audible through the sound system.
What did I do? Do you hurt you right?
Yeah. Just a bad knuckle crack?
Oh, no, it's my wrist.
Did you hit it?
Oh, wow.
Did you just turn? You literally were
I
just
just
moving
turned
your
it.
hand?
Yeah, you heard that. It went,
I did. Yeah.
Oh, that can't be good. Garen, I'm going to need you to call 911. 911, the whole call probably is going to, they're not going to come here for this. So just dial 911, make me think you did something. That's off. So what were you saying? Something about Gordon Gekko?
The famous episode of The Cosby Show where Theo buys like $100 designer shirt and or he wants to. I forget the exact deal, and his parents are like, "No way, that's crazy," for a dance. And so then Lisa Bonet is like, "Oh, well, don't worry about it. I'll make you one. Like, you give me $20, I'll make you." Just the same shirt, just no different. And then she makes it, and it's like one sleeve goes past his fingers, the other one's like, there's like one collar, like there's only a collar on one side. It's hilarious. It's a great episode. Look it up. Hulu.
And then
Plus.
does he wear it to the dance?
No, he's just horribly embarrassed.
Oh, I
and,
see. I'm taking an aspirin. My wrist is in so much. I'm gonna have to ice it. I'm gonna have to get Tommy John, and that's not even has nothing to do with the wrist.
Is it Tommy John, and then the surgery is his surgery, so it's Tommy John's surgery, or is his name John's?
No, it's Tommy John surgery.
It's Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
Okay, so his name was Tommy John.
I don't. You know what? Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe it's Tommy John's.
No, I'm asking.
No, I think it's Tommy John. Will you look that up, Garen? That's interesting. Because for all my life, I just you never really say, you always say Tommy John surgery.
Right.
You always like that.
But he was around when you were a kid, right? He played in the when? 70s?
But I don't know him.
You
I don't know him as a ball player. I know him as a guy, the innovative
surgery.
arm surgery man. I'm taking an aspirin. Go ahead. What?
Tommy John surgery.
Singular.
Singular.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Tommy John.
Got it.
There was a DJ in Chicago named Catherine Johns for a while who had a sexy voice.
No.
Catherine Johns and Terry Ryder was another one. A lot of sexy voices out there coming out of Chicago. Speaking of sexy voices, this is episode 1223. We already discussed that.
Yeah.
Hey, get your finances in order. We're getting close to that. And we won't announce it yet, but the elite
The pack is back.
the pack is back, baby. The packages are coming back for subscription models. I think there's only gonna be 2 levels this go around, but we got a lot of comments that people they enjoy those levels, and
You can enjoy the show on a lot of levels.
you sure can, whether you like the guest or maybe you tune in just because you like the fucking cast, you assholes.
That's apropos of this episode.
How about that? We'll get to that. Now listen, man.
They already know. They've seen the description.
They don't know what kind of surprises.
What terrible thing am I going to do in that description line? Am I going to go question mark, question mark, question mark?
I think if you do that,
do nothing.
they're going to think it's the biggest star in show business,
Yeah.
and I think you have to be forthcoming and just say it's a guest free, baby. It's the listener's the guest today. Mm-hmm. We're going to take phone calls in a little bit. We're going to play some games via the phone. We're going to do contests. It's going to be all about you, man. That's what it is. It's all about the listener. I've been wanting to do an episode like this for a long time.
Yeah.
And then, when we had the serviceman in here, what was his name? Donnie Darko? What was that guy's name?
Huh?
Who was the serviceman who was in here? The pizza salesman.
When you said serviceman, I thought you meant like a Culligan man. Like
Yeah,
a,
when did the
like a
Maytag guy
cable
come in
guy
here?
or
Yeah.
something. I'm going to pull it. Volker.
Andrew Volker.
Andrew Volker.
That's it.
Volker.
And we appreciate his service to this great country of ours. He's keeping it safe. I had Volker come over and take a look at my phone bills.
Sure.
That seemed to be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
He's on the up and up. That guy fought for this country. I trust him looking over my
Very
bill.
trustworthy.
And So I've been wanting to do an episode like this for a long time, where we get to interact with the listener more than we usually do. Usually it's very rushed. I always feel like the guest is here, and then I'm taking time away from them to make these phone calls and to interact with the audience. I also don't like them interacting. Stay out of it. That's my time.
You don't know what you're doing.
Right. You're fumbling and mumbling. I don't need that bullshit on my watch. I may have broken my wrist. I just did this, and it freaking hurt, man.
Do you want an ace bandage?
Nah, I want a Paul Stanley bandage. I don't want an ace bandage, man.
A heat pack?
I don't know what I want.
What other things can I offer you that I have no ability to obtain?
A splint? You could probably makeshift a splint out of some things in this room.
Here, tape a couple of pens to your wrist.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. That actually, I mean, obviously that wouldn't help, but just securing it like that. Look at that.
Do you want to go? You want to go masturbate and see if that helps?
I couldn't. Let me see. I don't think I could do it. I don't.
It's true. The muscle tense up might.
I couldn't
might
do
kill
it,
you.
man. No, actually, the tense is okay.
Really?
Tense, tight,
what
keeping
you
it tight.
need.
It's the loosey goosey.
You've got like tennis elbow in your wrist.
Well, that's carpal tunnel, right? Isn't that basically
I
what
guess
that
that's
is?
what that is. Yeah.
Wow, that hurts. All right, we'll get through it. Let's go around the room. I was going to talk about my airplane flight.
Yes.
Remember that? Going to San Jose. I was on the telephone with you. We were having a nice conversation about the future and the past of podcasting. Basically the same conversation we've had for 6 years, except it's different now because we're about to get sued by a patent troll. Have you guys received your letter yet? No, we haven't gotten our letter yet, but it's right around the corner. Thank you, Dyson's lady, for asking us. Appreciate you getting involved.
Dyson Wheels got their letter. That's his podcast.
Is that an impression of you doing my Dyson's lady?
Yes.
Let's be very clear. That's my character. So you're doing an impression of my character? My character that Dice.
I've done that before. You don't.
You
see
never
mine.
did it. You never did it.
Yes, I have. I throw in my
Dare you.
own
I know you have. I'm not really mad.
read on it.
Just really broke my wrist again. Dyson Wheels got theirs. We've only been doing a show for a month, honey. I know it, Dice. I apologize. I check the mail daily. Why is it her fault?
Is she getting older? She sounded a little bit like aged in that.
Like any of my impressions, they got a shelf life. All my characters have a shelf life. Even my Dice sucks. My Dice, which was decent, easy, honey, sounds more like Sinatra, as it always did. It always had a Sinatra Dice feel to it. Right. Chairman of the Dice Man of the Board. That's what I'll call him. That's who that guy is. Dice Man of the Board. I did, by the way, last night in Sunnyvale, I did that joke I do. Joke's a strong word. Where I talk about growing up in the south side of Chicago. You know, it's the baddest part of town. I go, boy, buddy of mine got in some trouble last time I was there. My buddy, you probably made all the papers, Leroy Brown. And then I basically just do the lyrics. Some woman's reacting as if it was a true story. I go, well, Leroy, we were there one day, we're shooting dice. And she goes, who shoots dice? And then
She said that out loud?
like to her, mumbled to herself. And then I ignored that one. Because I wanted to get on with the riff. And basically her saying that made me then kind of forget the lyrics. And then I go, well, one night, Leroy, he's out with another guy's gal. And the guy found out about it, came in, they got there was a stabbing. And then I'm fumbling for the words.
Yeah.
I go, the only way to describe it is what was done. Leroy was on the ground. He looked like a jigsaw puzzle with a couple of pieces gone. She goes, oh. I kid you not. And then because I was done with the thing, then I reacted. I go, ma'am, you know this is not a true story, right? I go, you're reacting as if Leroy Brown's a real man. I go, and then I go, I heard about that on a record once, whatever. But it was so,
She was, I mean, that's poetic. What she was responding to is some really great lyrics that were written 30 years ago, or 40 maybe.
I'm just regurgitating them.
Yeah.
Like, does she really think that's how I'm gonna describe my friend getting stabbed?
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend got stabbed. The best way to describe it, he was like a jigsaw puzzle with a couple of pieces gone. Who would ever say that? Unless you're writing a song about the great Leroy Brown.
Right.
You know Leroy, right? He was the baddest man in the whole damn town. It's better than, if I got to give examples, better than King Kong. Meaner. This son of a bitch was meaner than a junkyard dog. Now, one night,
Christ.
Leroy was shooting dice. All right, anyhow.
What happened?
More stuff. He died.
Is this about your friend that got stabbed?
Yeah, it was in the papers.
Yeah, I read about it.
Oh, Matt, it was so sad. I looked down at the ground. He looked like a jigsaw puzzle with a couple of pieces gone.
Oh my gosh.
I knew you were going there. I set you up. You're welcome. My pleasure. Good job. Everybody's doing great today. So
I
anyway,
got goosebumps from the description you just gave.
who would ever describe it that way? I'm from a comedy. By the way, while let's say there's 75 people in the room. While 70, let's call 70. Let's assume 4 aren't getting it, and 1 thinks it's real. 70 are laughing like morons,
Right.
And then 4 are confused and or hate me, and then this woman thinks it's serious. Like she doesn't.
Yeah.
All the other things going on around her, ignore. So far, oh good Lord.
Yeah.
Some woman had on an ugly hat last night on stage. I'm only quoting it because afterwards, this guy, Larry Bubbles Brown, great comic out of San Francisco, he said it may be one of the top 5 funniest things he's ever heard. This couple, she had on I described it as a Boy George hat. It was like a big boy, almost like a Cosby Kid hat, but made out of like yarn. But I saw Boy George wear a hat like that once, where it's like big and it's got a flower on it. It's got like just a little brim on it. You know, it was almost just like a biker hat, but for like an old lady. And she was an older lady. Her name was Jan. Sam was her husband. Sam and Jan. I'm gonna go on record. Hated me.
Okay.
Did not care for my humor. As somebody pointed out, well, maybe because you shut on her hat the second you walked on stage. But so then I'm doing, I said, how long, you guys married, Sam? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, 35 years. I go, look at that. I go, look, that's the beauty of being married that long. You're married that long, you don't care what you put on your head. And it was so, God damn it. Look at me quoting my act. Now, the point is this. I'm on the plane going there.
Yes.
And I've talked about this kind of in the past on the show. This is what happened on this flight. It's 2 and 2. It's a Woolery plane.
Yeah.
You got just 2 seats on each side. So you're next to somebody, man.
Yeah.
You're next to. I like the 1 and 2. I like the 3 and 3. 2 and 2's tight. The guy, he's walking down the aisle. He's already got the look on his face. He's apologizing that he goes, I'm in there. Mike Schmidt sized. Is that a nice way of putting it? Mike,
Not to Mike.
but Mike knows he's a big guy.
Yeah, but you're shaking your head and you're
Yeah, well, Mike knows nobody wants to be sitting next to
That's it. Yeah,
somebody
it's
that
from
big.
his act.
Right, it's right from the act. It's AST Records, right? Am I allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, we mentioned it last week.
All right, I don't know.
Although that joke is not on the album.
Good call. Cut it. It's not good. It's not strong. That's good. If I was going to give any notes on the editing of that thing, I think it's good to cut that.
Well, we don't need to go into it now, but the album is more of a story. It's not really jokes.
He's a big man.
Yes.
So he gets in there, and because it's 2 and 2, that's a small plane. So he can't really even sit in that seat because the wall is hitting him. So I, with my claustrophobia and fear of humans, my agoraphobia. What's that? I was afraid to go outside, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's not of
You're
Angora. I'm thinking of Angora.
You're thinking of arachnophobia.
No, I'm thinking of Endoraphobia, a fear of the mother on Bewitched.
I'm just taking your word for it that's her name.
Arachnophobia is spiders.
Yes.
I don't like spiders and snakes.
Really?
Yeah, unless that's what it takes to love you.
God damn it.
Yeah, the great Jim Stafford.
If this season had a name, it would be Spiders and Snakes. I feel like that's come up.
It's come up too many times.
A million times.
I know. Well, let's call this season Spiders and Snakes. Hey, everybody, welcome to Spiders and Snakes 23. Anyhow, so I'm even though I've got all my neuroses, even though I've got all my nuts.
Your need to be liked is bigger than
No, some need to be.
claustrophobia.
I don't appreciate that spin. I was being a nice human being.
Right.
I said, you know what? And I couched it. I said, you know what? I'm a little smaller than you. I think I might hit that.
I'm a little smaller.
About 250 pounds. I might be able to hit that. That might. Oh no, I'm shorter than you. That's what I said.
Okay.
I'm shorter than you, so I might be able to fit over there a little easier. What? Do you want to switch? He's like, oh man, if you would do that, I'd be so grateful. So yeah, you got it. So I get in there and regret it the second I sit down and went mistake. And because there's no armrest because it's the exit row, so there's no armrest.
Jeez.
And it's right here.
That sucks.
It's right there. And so then Mike, I'll tell you this, having flown with Mike Schmidt for all the years that I did for us going on the road, Mike somehow, as big as he is courteous and knows how to
Folds his arms
and compacts them in such a way where he really isn't in your way.
Yeah.
What does this guy do, Matt? What does he do?
He lays it all out there.
But take a guess on what he does. Not only does
Does he put the armrest between you up?
No, armrest down.
Okay.
Armrest down.
Does he put his arm around you?
Almost.
In a brotherly manner?
Because what you know what he does? New York Times. Oh. And not folded up.
No,
look,
just
New
a
York,
full
New York
boom.
Times.
Ugh.
New York Times.
Get a tablet, sir.
So now I'm here. I literally am. I have to bend my neck kind of to be over there to begin with. I don't know. I said this from stage in Sunnyvale. I don't know how anybody taller than 5'4".
Right.
I was uncomfortable. Anybody 5'5", you're gonna break your neck. Like if there's turbulence, you're hitting. So I'm like, and now I got to make the room for him and so he could read the stocks. So not New York Times, Wall Street Journal,
Okay.
WSJ. So now my spine is, I'm the elephant man sitting there. It was fucking horrible.
Dude.
Horrible. It's like, this is the one, not the one time, I'm nice a lot, but I literally, sir, you know what, I'll be the good guy. You know what, you take the aisle. Spread out the other way, you asshole. Go into the fucking aisle.
Or just don't read your newspaper for 45
How
minutes.
about that, motherfucker?
It's a fucking quick flight.
Unreal.
Awful.
Awful.
I apologize.
And you know who I blame for this, right? Obama,
Obama.
because I'm guessing that guy should have been on an earlier flight.
Yeah.
Right? He got bumped to my flight.
Could be.
They were in the process of bumping people on their flights. That's what they were going to do. They were going to, hey, this one's delayed, but the next one's not. I never understand how that works.
I don't either. Where do those people go?
When it's scheduling, if it's maintenanceable,
Yeah.
when it's
Medicinal?
what's a fun word for it? When it's maintenance related? I understand that you're delayed, but the next one won't be. That one I get. But even in that regard, if it is, and if it's the same kind of plane, bump us to that next plane, and then everybody's, one later.
But then there's no...
There's no end plane?
Right, and also, but then there's a jam up.
No, there's no jam. You're not jamming. There's no Tom Petty here. What do you mean there's a jam up?
Well, if you're suggesting...
I'm
that
saying,
the
here we
one-
go, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock is delayed for maintenance.
Right.
But the 2:15, that's also going to Dallas.
Yeah.
Or Sunnyvale, the 2:15 is ready to go. Why do the passengers on the 2:15 flight, why do they board their plane and leave while the passengers for the 1 o'clock are still delayed? That's my point.
So you're saying everybody should be... I think you already answered your own question.
I think 1 o'clock should get to the 2:15. 2:15 goes on to 3:30.
But then, so you're inconveniencing 10 times as many people.
But maybe not, because then no, not really.
Every flight after that is then delayed.
But every flight after that's slightly delayed, as opposed to one being really delayed.
But they're minimizing the damage in terms of number of people.
But here's the thing: what if you throw me on the 2:15, right? And then they fix the 1 o'clock at 2:30. Now everybody from the 2:15 gets on at 2:30. See what I'm saying?
May have lost interest. To quote you, I know I'm the one who prolonged it, but I just, at a certain point, I don't know. Like I said, I'm tired. So.
If you think you lost interest, imagine me between 1 and 2:15 trying to figure out where the fuck I was. My
So
point
they were
was.
offering to bump you to the next one that might have left sooner because the first
It
one's
may have
delayed?
left. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't. They were offering, but only
Because
like,
there were some seats open. Is that how it
yeah,
worked?
and then 3 people took them up on it, and then all of a sudden it was literally like they took 2 steps away. We are now boarding for flight. Like then you
Maybe they were the problem.
your head you had
As soon as they got out, you're like, oh, hey, we can go now.
We can do this now. Those 3 assholes are
We
gone.
just weren't sure about them.
Oh, but it was yeah. So then I got this anyhow. Nice weekend in Sunnyvale. I had a nice time. Saw our friend Scott Simpson up there.
Oh, cool.
You know what Scott Simpson's doing now?
Yeah, he's doing stand-up.
Stand-up
now.
comedy.
Yeah,
And he did a guest set last night. Did a great job.
great.
Good to see
Glad
Scotty
to hear
Simp
it.
living his dream.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
He's a funny guy.
Funny guy, funny cat, as we say in the jazz world. I like to go to the jazz clubs every now and then, right? I get in there with my bongo, right? I should tell you this. They don't appreciate that I sit in and play with them.
No.
Because I always ask for a table close to the stage. And they always accommodate me. I give them a 20. I always shake their hand. I always go, a little something close, friend. And then they put me close. And then the guy will be up there playing his clarinet. And boom, boom. I just pull out the bongo. And I'm ready to join in. And then they always look down. Now I'm an audience member. They can't kick me out. So I'm in, man.
Yeah.
But I'm close enough to the stage where the audience thinks, hey, I like those bongos. They think I'm part of it. They think
Right.
I'm Fonzie.
Yeah. It's a good place for a bongo player right in the front. Keep the beat down low.
Right? Keep the beat down low.
Let us up and papa.
Let's go around the room.
Yeah.
Then it's already time for our first break,
Yeah.
right?
This is we're stretching it out. We're stretching our legs like you couldn't do on that flight.
Legs were fine.
Oh, okay.
Legs were fine.
Oh, because the exit. Yeah, you got to look
Legs
extra.
were fine, but it was all right. Neck here, spine.
When you just slouch down.
I did everything I could. You think I need your help now?
You didn't think of that?
I did everything.
What if you're like, oh, slouching?
I slouched.
Thanks.
Because it was hard to slouch because I had arm.
Yeah.
Like everything. Like I truly did. I was trying to stay under. Like his arm's here. And the wall's here.
Did you put your head into the window portal?
I did. I tried that
the
too.
The porthole.
I tried. Man. I tried
to get
everything.
a little bit further away.
And luckily, and listen, you're not going to be on a plane that small on a longer flight anyway. But luckily, it's only a 45-minute flight.
Right.
You know, it's only an hour and 10, wheels up, wheels down.
You put on your rock solid and you just drift away, right?
That's what I did. I listened to the Lita Ford episode on that flight.
Yeah.
We haven't plugged Rock Solid in a while.
I do it in the break.
I don't know.
Sometimes.
I don't know what you do. Anyway, the Lita Ford episode was great. The Melissa Etheridge show was great. Really, any show where the guest is leading the show, that backhanded compliment that came off very unfunny.
It was. I will say it was cool. She was sitting right there.
Who's this? Lita Ford or
Lita
Melissa
Ford.
Etheridge?
Both of them did, but I was talking about Lita Ford. When she played that second song, she did the first song. Her guitarist took a solo. In the second song, she took a guitar solo on an acoustic. That's hard. It's hard to do all that, and it was just awesome to sit this close to that, watch it happen. It was really impressive.
That's the thing about Lita Ford is she's a great guitarist.
She is.
And that's what I love about it. Like first and foremost, she's a lead guitarist, singer secondary.
Yeah, she didn't sing in the. Well, maybe she sang backup or certain songs.
Right, Sherry did, right?
For the
even Joan Jett wasn't the singer. It was.
I don't know. I just know that I think they all sang a few because we played one of the songs that she was lead vocal on, and she was.
That's a good song.
She was embarrassed by it. She was like, "Oh, I sound terrible."
Well, she was 15 or 14 or something.
Yeah.
She was a child.
Just a child.
And the child goes for the. There's my Cosby. The child. We used to do that at the record store. The child goes for the cassette. Parent doesn't allow the child to have the cassette. That's what we would do in my. That's how we'd kill time at the record store. All right, listen. We're gonna take a break. We'll come back. We'll go around the room. We'll fire up the phone calls. Why don't you, in this segment? Why don't we
tweet it?
Tweet out. Let's do some stupid questions. Later on in the show, we'll do speed contests. We'll do some 15th callers.
Okay.
Might even play some movie cats.
Well, wait a minute then. Shouldn't we be calling out for the stupid questions? Because we have.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that first. I apologize. Let's do that first. Let's call out. I forgot how we do these phone calls. I don't listen to the show.
It's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, right. We've had some guests in here that Mike Schmidt, and who was before that? Dan Cronin. And then who was before Dan?
We did do one. That was
Joel Stein. We did do one.
Did
That one was that.
Electrified fence man.
That was
electrified.
awesome. That guy. He may have been electrocuted shocked while that call was happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna take a break. Matt's gonna give you some plugs. I don't know what he does in the break. I didn't even know he plugged Rock Solid, and we're gonna have an after-show meeting about that. We're probably gonna cut that loose. But my point is, I enjoy those episodes. I enjoy all the Rock Solids, but those were two that the Lita Ford was brand new.
Yeah.
So I was not finally, he was brand new, so I was able to listen to that one. And, very enjoyable. Rock On with Rock Solid. Pat Francis and Gary Lucy. You got to get Gary Lucy back on the show.
I was thinking that.
I like Gary.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Gary.
I was thinking that when I was realizing we're not having a guest this week. I was like, oh, maybe we should ask Gary. But
So you're equating Gary with no guest?
no, I was saying if we're doing it. No, I mean, I like the idea of doing this, but it did cross my mind after we talked. Like, oh, I guess we could have Gary.
Yeah, we could have Gary, but we still can have Gary. It's not like this is our last episode.
That's it.
Wait, what? What's up? What's happening? Something going on? As I look over, people are taking things off the wall. What's going on? Like the podcast police have come in. Somebody call the police because it's a crime. How she broke my heart. Who is it? Who is it? We just did this last week.
The same song?
Yes.
Oh, well, then I'm not going to remember. It was someone I had never heard of.
We just did it last week.
Hey guys, Matt here with some dates for you. Jimmy is going to be at Acme in Minneapolis on July 26th and 27th. That's the Acme Comedy Club, I believe. Full name. Elliot Hochberg is doing an improvised soap opera. I may have told you about it before, called Hope Falls at the Impro Theater in Los Feliz, or Los Feliz. And that's on Saturday, June 22nd, 8 p.m. Go to improtheater.com for tickets. And finally, Garen has a short story on the podcast No Sleep, the No Sleep podcast. It's called Eggs, and you can check it out on episode 3 of season 3. It comes out June 16th. Go to the nosleeppodcast.com. Enjoy.
To see this whole episode or for more great content with comedian Jimmy Pardo, head over to Pardcast.com. Don't forget to share, rate, and subscribe.